So we have a big announcement.
We're hiking the PCT.
So what is the PCT, you might ask?
The PCT is the Pacific Crest Trail. It's a 2,650-mile trail that goes from the Mexican border through California, Oregon, and Washington to the Canadian border.
Very good. So this trip, this epic adventure, is something that we have been planning for, I'd say, 5 years maybe?
5 years.
Yeah, so we're pretty excited about it. So we would like to introduce ourselves. I'm Christy, and this is actually my YouTube channel called Heavenly Hikes and Travels. This channel, I have done a lot of hiking and traveling with my husband in our truck camper, but we're going to use this channel to post our daily vlogs of our trip. And just a little bit about me, I have done a lot of hiking throughout my life, but pretty recently have gotten into the backpacking. My husband Adam has been a much more avid backpacker, and he's actually taught me so much. But anyway, just a little bit about me.
And I'm Suzanne, although you'll hear my sister refer to me as Susie because I'm Susie to my family. And but yeah, I'm Suzanne, and I love the outdoors, love everything about the outdoors, but I'm actually fairly new to backpacking. Really just started backpacking since we started talking about trying to do this.
I got her into it.
It's her fault. It's her fault. But I am so excited about this beyond any way I can even say how excited I am. So looking forward to it a whole lot. You'll get to know us as we're on trail and through the rest of these videos, and I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah. All right, so here's the biggest question that we have gotten. Why in the world do you want to do this? So, why do you want to do it?
Because it is something that sounds kind of impossible, and the scenery out there is so different than what we have in here. The variety of landscapes, I don't know, there's so many things that are beautiful, and yet just the challenge of doing something that sounds so impossible is really drawing me to do it.
Okay.
What about you?
Well, very similar actually. Like I love the idea of just doing something that just seems impossible and pushing myself out of my comfort, and just kind of maybe getting some more self-confidence, maybe overcoming some fears. Yeah, it's a pretty big challenge, but I'm excited to just do something hard, I guess.
Yeah. Another question we commonly get asked is, why do the PCT instead of the AT, the Appalachian Trail? Because we live on the East Coast, and everybody's heard of the Appalachian Trail, and I think for both of us, we've hiked a lot of the Appalachian trails, a lot of the Appalachian Mountains, parts of the AT, and the draw of something new and something different, something with the bigger views, the different variety of scenery.
Yeah.
What else?
Well, for me, I think the East Coast has a lot more rain typically than the West. And from what I understand, now I've never thru hiked the Appalachian Trail. I've never done a thru hike at all, but I've watched so many videos that it's almost embarrassing. And I've watched a lot of people who have done like all the thru hikes in the United States. My hair is flying in my face. But anyway, and most all of them have said that the AT is physically more challenging because it goes straight up the side of a mountain and straight back down, where the Pacific Crest Trail has a lot more switchbacks. It's an equestrian trail, so it has a gentler grade. Now, we are aware that there's going to be sections, especially through the Sierras, that will be challenging, especially with the elevation. I don't know. Maybe I'm being naive, but that's one of the reasons for me as well.
Especially the part about how much rains on the Appalachian Trail versus the PCT.
Well, I mean, in Washington, obviously, we know that it rains a lot. I don't know. Those are just the things that you think about kind of when you're processing
I just
it.
want something new.
Right.
Something different than what we've had here close by.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if that hopefully that answers that question for people that have asked.
Okay.
All right. So another big question that we have gotten is it safe? And that's a legitimate concern. I think that's legitimate no matter what trail you're on. But in reality, I mean, there's dangers every single day. I mean, we face dangers when we get in our car. I mean, but yes, I believe it's safe. We are already plugged in with a group, and we've even communicated with some people that we will start hiking with, like on the same day or right around the same day. There's a good network of people out there support-wise, and there's a lot of people on trail, and they look out for each other. It's just like with anything else. A lot of times we have in our mind, especially if we don't know anything about it, this idea. You hear Mexican border, and there's a lot of things that come to your mind. But it is a safe trail overall, I believe. We will also have a Garmin inReach with an SOS button. You know, Lord willing, we'll stay safe and we won't ever have to push that. But we do have that option. If for some reason something were to happen, we could push the SOS and we could get rescued. With the new iPhone satellite messaging, that's really nice. And we've actually tried that out so we can communicate with our family members just on our phones without cell service. So that's nice to know that that's there. Anything else you can think of?
Another question people ask about safety-wise is the wildlife and the animals and things like that. And, I mean, again, you have the same danger if you go to a national park and go out on a trail. It's not really vastly more than that. And because you're on a trail and because there's a lot of people, it kind of deters some of the animals. Plus, we're required to carry what they call bear canisters in the heaviest bear populations that help prevent attracting bears to the area. So yeah, there's very, very, very rare any kind of negative animal encounters on the trail.
Yeah. Okay.
Another question people ask us is, well, how do you do that? How do you get food? What do you do for water and stuff like that? So the water, we carry a water filter that will filter all the bacteria and most everything out of there. And so it makes the water safe to drink from a creek, heck, even a mud puddle just about. So that's the big thing for water. Now, there are sections where there's not a lot of free-flowing water, but it stays updated on one of the guides that we'll use, the Far Out app, about some of the creeks running, not running, things like that. And there's some places where people just provide water at the side of the trail, which sounds crazy, I know, but that's the kind of network they have of support out there. And
yeah,
so,
like they call them water caches, and they're huge. I mean, some of them have like, I don't know, hundreds of gallons tanks that you can get water, or some of them are just like like a locker type thing, like a metal locker with gallons, jugs in them, or just different things like that, and in areas where there's not a lot of water. And they do that for the PCT hikers.
Right. And then as far as food goes, we're not going to hike the whole thing without ever being in town. Usually you're into at least a small community or town every several days, usually at least once a week, and you can resupply a little bit there. Some places have more to offer than others as far as grocery stores versus convenience stores, but yeah, you're not going to go hungry. All you have to do is pick up what you need for the next stretch until you plan to hit another town.
Yeah, and when we get to those towns, we will either find like a hotel or a hostel or sometimes even Airbnbs and different things like that to do, to take showers and
Do laundry.
do a laundry and yeah, those are called town days, and you got chores you got to do on those days. But yeah, that's what we'll be doing for that.
And then when you're in town, you eat lots of
yeah.
really good food instead of trail food.
Right. And real quick, just to mention, because you mentioned the Far Out app, and this kind of goes with the safety a little bit too. Yeah. It's an app that we have the entire trail on our phone, and it will show campsites, it shows water sources, it shows everything. It shows towns, and people will leave comments. Like if you look at a water source that's coming up, you can tap on it and it'll say whether or not it's flowing, or I don't know. There's just a lot. There's alerts and things like that that the Far Out app will do.
It's kind of like when you GPS in your car and you can see where you are on your trip. It's kind of the same type of thing along the trail. So you can tell that you're on trail. You can see what's coming up, all those kind of things.
Yeah. And we'll be using our phones for navigation, and we'll both be recording videos on our phones. So our phone is pretty essential piece of gear. Yeah.
And when are we doing this?
We're doing it in March. We're starting in March and possibly ending in September. We really don't know. Those are one of those things that you just, lots of things, lots of variables. We definitely want to do the entire thing, and we want to hike from Mexico to Canada. And we're going to give it our best shot. Our attitude has always been, we just want to try it, we just want to try, and we're going to try, and we're going to give it our best shot.
Yeah.
And we'll take it day by day and mile by mile. And
if you want to keep up with us, just stay tuned here.
Yeah. And with each mile, we're going to praise the Lord, because we know that He has gotten us to that next destination.
Absolutely.
So anyway, that's just a little bit about us. And I hope that you tune in and watch us.
Bye now.
Thank you. All right.
See you soon.
Okay. Should I say attempt to hike?
No.
Okay. Oh, my hair. All right, because my hair was flying in my face, but I can just leave that in. That's just natural. So moving on
Did I talk too loud?
No, you didn't talk too loud. So now what? Okay, you do that. Start that, and I'll see if I can chime in.